Hello, good morning students. I am Purnima. I welcome you all to my class of English. And student, today I am going to revise the same lesson, the Comet 1. Okay, we are going to do the revision of the same lesson which we were doing yesterday, and it is written by Jayant Narlikar. Jayant Narlikar is a famous scientist of India, and he is the one children who is also interested in astronomy. So children, before revising, I would like to say and revise some of the important point of the Comet 1. Now children, this lesson is started with Dattada. He is the main character of the whole play or the whole story. Dattada, he was not a scientist or astronomer. But children, he was very much interested in gazing the star. Whenever he used to have time, he used to gaze the star. So here children, Dattada was not a scientist or astronomer, but star gazing was his pastime. He used to spend long nights studying the stars. His one ambition in life was to discover a new comet. So children, what was his ambition of life? His ambition of life was to discover a new comet. Well children, Dattada had only 3 ambitions of life. So for what was the first ambition of his life? His first ambition of his life that he should have a telescope. His second ambition is to gaze the stars. And his third ambition is to find the comet. Okay. So children, Dattada, he was having 3 ambition. He longed for these 3 ambition. First was to have a telescope to gaze the stars and to find the comet. This was his 3 ambition of life. Now, his one ambition in life was to discover a new comet. So one of his children decision of his and his ambition of life was to discover a new comet. He longed for enough money to buy a good telescope and also free time to study the star. Children, he also wanted to have a free time to study the star. He got them both after retirement. Now children, when he retired from his office, his 2 ambition was fulfilled. His first ambition was to have a telescope and his second ambition was to gaze the stars. And his third ambition was still has to be completed to find a comet. So children, these 2 ambition was fulfilled. When he was retired, he got enough money, he got an ample of money, and children, he had bought 8 inches telescope from that. Now since he did not have to go to his office daily, he was having ample of time. He used to study the star for a long time. He used to gaze the star and he used to, children, see the star. Maximum time in night his time was passed by seeing the star. Now the third one, children, still has to be completed. So he got them both after retirement. His first and second wish was fulfilled, and let's see what about the third wish. So he bought an 8-inch telescope to fulfill the secret ambition. What was his secret ambition? To look at to gaze at the star and to find the comets. He knew that comets come from the solar system like other planets. They too go around the sun. So children, he knew that the comets, they come from the solar system and like other planets, they too go around the sun. But their movement is unusual. They could disappear for ages. Now children, he had some idea that the comets, they also come from solar system. Like other planets, they too go around the sun, but their movement is unusual. They could disappear for ages. Indrani Devi. Indrani Devi was his wife, and children, she used to curse that his telescope because maximum time he was passing with his telescope. She called it Divya or Divya Chakshu. Now children, she called that telescope Divya or Divya Chakshu. Her husband, it made him careless about his own well-being. Now children, her husband was careless about his own well-being and the practical problem of living. He did not take precaution against cold. Now children, she was very much worried about Divya. Divya was the name given to the telescope. It was a 8 inches telescope bought by Dattada to fulfill his wish. Now children, maximum time he was passing with Divya. Now Divya was the name given to by Dattada and his wife. The name, what actually was the name given to them? The name given to them was Divya Chakshu. Divya means divine and Chakshu means eyes. So that means through the divine eyes he was studying the star. Well, his wife now was feeling jealous because maximum time children, and especially whole night he used to wake with Divya Chakshu in his hand, and children, he used to see through that lens of the telescope. His wife was feeling jealous with that Divya because she used to think that maximum time he is passing with the telescope. And let's see children what happened. Indrani Devi, his wife, cursed the telescope. She called it Divya or Divya Chakshu, divine eye. She thought that the telescope was another woman who had trapped her husband. Now children, that Divya Chakshu was like her, like it was like another woman to her, and she felt that she had trapped her husband, and it made him careless about his own well-being and the practical problem of living. He did not take precautions against cold. Now, third point. The professional astronomer used big telescope. Now, children, it was professional astronomers, they used big telescope. Datta the 8-inch Divya stood very little chance of spotting a new comet. So, children, it was Datta the 8 inches Divya, okay, who had a very little chances of spotting a new comet. So children, it was Dattada who actually wanted to discover. So a student with a small telescope of 8 inches, it was very difficult for Dattada to find out the comet, but then he did not lose his hope. Now, one night Dattada noticed a new comet. Okay. So children, Dattada also knew that the great scientists looked chiefly at faint star. They missed such an insignificant thing as comet. One night Dattada noticed a new comet. Still Dattada was hopeful. He knew that the great scientists looked chiefly at faint star. They missed such an insignificant thing as comet. One night Dattada noticed a new comet. Still Dattada was hopeful. He knew that the great one night Dattada noticed a new comet. 2 days later the news appeared in the newspaper that a Calcutta man Dattada, Manoj Datta. Children, Dattada actual name was Manoj Datta, and everybody used to love him so much that he was known by the name of Datta. So in the newspaper it appeared that a Kolkata man whose name is Manoj Datta, he had seen a comet, and it was reported at Indian Institute of Astrophysics. So this thing was reported to children, Indian Institute of Astrophysics. This comet was heading towards the earth, and children, he discovered that this comet was coming towards the earth, and it would be seen with naked eyes, and he would see this with naked eyes in the next few months. It was named Comet Datta. He became famous and celebrity. Now children, it was known as Comet Datta. He became famous and celebrity. So it was named Comet Datta. He became famous and a celebrity. There were felicitations for Dattada. Now children, there were felicitations for Dattada, but he did not like functions organized in his honor. And he did not like function organized in his honor. He wished he had not discovered the new comet. He wished that he did not discover the new comet. His wife agreed, but for a different reason. Now children, his wife also wished that he should not discover a new comet, but it was actually for different reason. She was highly educated, but she was a very superstitious lady. She feared that comets brought ill luck and calamities on the earth. Now what she thought? She thought that planets brought ill luck, comets brought ill luck and calamities on earth. So children, she did not want that her husband's name should be associated with the comet. Now children, there is a turning point in the story. At Cambridge University, Dr. James Forsyth, at Cambridge University, Dr. James Forsyth got a message to see John Macpherson, who was a defense science advisor to the British government. Sir John handed him an article which James had written and sent for publication to Nature. It was very important. It was very important because James had forewarned that Comet Datta would hit the earth and destroy it. The collision could be avoided if it got broken into pieces while coming near the sun, or it might collide with some other comet. The tragedy could occur in just 10 months. It was decided to call an urgent meeting of experts to find out ways to save the earth. They had to do something to push the deadly comet out of the way. So children, this is all the main points of the lesson. Now I am going to explain the remaining part of the lesson to you all. In the spacious, I am here at page number 77, part 2. In the spacious dining hall of King's College, Cambridge, the butler whispered deferentially in the provost's ear and handed him an envelope on a silver tray. So children, in the spacious dining hall of King's College. So children, dining halls of King's College at Cambridge University, the butler whispered deferentially in the provost's ear and handed him an envelope on a silver tray. The provost beckoned his called James and passed on the envelope, saying, "It seems you are wanted urgently in your room." As he made his way towards the beautiful building, James opened the envelope. It contained a brief note. Now children, James, he opened that envelope and it contained the brief note. It was written there, "Dear Dr. Forrest." So, "Dear Dr. Forrest, the bearer of this note has been instructed to bring you to my office." He is telling the bearer of this note has been instructed that you should come to my office in London tonight. Please come without delay. So he is telling, don't delay and please come today without any delay. I am making arrangements for your overnight stay in London. So he is telling, I am making arrangement for your overnight stay in London. I regret the inconvenience caused to you and request you to keep your visit strictly confidential. So he is telling, I regret the inconvenience caused to you and request you to keep your visit strictly confidential. Believe me, it is absolutely essential. So he's telling, believe me, it is absolutely essential. Yours sincerely, John McPherson. So he's telling, and finally, children, what was there? Yours sincerely, John McPherson. The signature carried the designation underneath Defense Science Advisor, Her Majesty's Government. The signature carried the designation underneath Defense Science Advisor, Her Majesty's Government. Now, page number 78. A bowler-headed man near the mantelpiece greeted him as James entered his sitting room. Now, children, a man was there with a bowler hat. He was sitting in his room and he greeted James when he entered his room, and he told, "I'm Johnson, sir, security officer at Whitehall." So he gave introduction of him. "I'm Johnson, sir, security officer at Whitehall." He showed his identity card and continued, "I presume you know why I am here, sir." So he's telling, I should tell you why I came here. "To the extent that is conveyed to in this note," replied James. So Sir James told, "Yes, I understood why you are here, because I got this note, and what is written there, what I believe is you came just because to take me from here," replied James. He knew that it would be useless to ask Johnson for further detail. "I won't take long." So he told, "Okay, I'm just coming. I won't take long." "Dr. Forrest, my apologies for this imposition on your time." Sir John advanced with outstretched hand. Now, children, Johnson's Ford Cortina brought them to Whitehall in less than 90 minutes. So, children, it was Johnson's Ford Cortina brought them to Whitehall in less than 90 minutes. It took them another 10 minutes to reach the chambers of Sir John McPherson. Having introduced James to Sir John, the quiet but efficient Johnson slipped out. "Dr. Forrest, my apologies for this imposition on your time." Sir John advanced with outstretched hands. "To avoid such further delay, I will come to the point right away." Sir John handed him a typed script. "Why, it is my paper to nature. How did you get this original manuscript?" James was surprised and somewhat uneasy. Now, children, when Mr. Sir John McPherson, he handed him a note, a script, so he was surprised. He told, "Why, it is my paper to nature." He is telling, "This is my paper which I have written. How did you get this original manuscript?" And he is telling, "This is in my handwriting. This is the original paper, and how did it comes to you?" James was surprised and somewhat uneasy. He was surprised also, and he was uneasy also. Sir John saw his anxiety and continued, "Taylor, the editor of Nature, is a friend of mine." So he told, "You don't have to be worried. Taylor, he is the editor of the magazine The Nature, to whom you have sent this paper for printing in the magazine. He has given me this paper." So he has given me this paper. James would never have tolerated aspersions on the accuracy of his work, or the implied order that it must be suppressed. But he knew Sir John to be a respected scientist and was willing to hear him out. So, and children, let's see what Mr. John has told him. "Please do not misunderstand me, Dr. Forrest. I met Taylor today at lunch in the club where he showed me your paper." So he is telling, "Please do not misunderstand me, Dr. Forrest. I met Taylor today at lunch in the club where he showed me your paper. I still retain enough interest in astronomy, you know, and he asked for my opinion before sending it to a professional referee. I immediately realized that your result has profound implication." if it is correct. Let me assure you, Sir John, that it is correct. I stake my reputation on it. James could not contain himself any more. So, children, now children, few word meaning which I am going to write on the board. These are new words. So, my first word is imposition, means cut or disturbance. So, okay. Then advanced is moved forward, outstretched. Then children, one important word is aspersions. So children, here James would never have tolerated aspersion. Aspersion is criticism on the accuracy of his work. Children, James was a scientist. His work was so accurate that he never could not tolerate any aspersion. Aspersion means criticism, to criticize somebody's work, that is known as aspersion. Or the implied order that it must be suppressed. Okay, so but he knew Sir John to be a respected scientist and was willing to hear him out. But children, he knew the person who is sitting in front of him, the person who has called him, he is a renowned scientist, so he must hear what he has to say for him. Now, please do not misunderstand me, Dr. Forrest. I met Taylor today at lunch in the club where he showed me your paper. So he's telling, please do not misunderstand me, Dr. Forrest. I met Taylor today at lunch in the club where he showed me your paper. I still retain enough interest in astronomy, you know. I still retain means to keep enough interest in astronomy, you know. And he asked for my opinion before sending it to professional referee. I immediately realized that your result has profound implications. Okay. Now children, if it is correct, so he is telling whatever you have done, whatever you have are going to do, is it implicated? Is it correct? Now what Sir John is telling, he is telling, let me assure you, Sir John, that it is correct. I stake my reputation on. So he's telling, I stake means I bet. Stake means children, I think so children, stake means bet. I stake my reputation. Or he's telling, I bet I don't want to have any children turning, I don't want to betray my reputation. Let me assure you, Sir John, that it is correct. That means whatever calculation I have made, it is all correct. I stake my reputation on it. James could not contain himself anymore. Do you realize what will happen if comet Datta collides with the Earth as you predicted will? Now children, Sir John is asking, have you ever realized if the comet will collide with the Earth, then have you ever thought what would happen? Or as you predict it will, this is your prediction also, that very soon that comet is going to collide with the Earth. The effects will be catastrophic. So he is telling great ruin, catastrophic. So what is the meaning of catastrophic? That means great ruin. So he is telling the result will be great catastrophic. That means great ruin will be there if such thing will happen. The effects will be catastrophic. That is why I have taken extra care to verify my calculation. And he is telling that means children, very carefully I have calculated it extra so that nothing goes wrong. Do you realize what will happen if comet Datta collides with the Earth? As you predicted it, the effects will be catastrophic. That is why I have taken extra care to verify my calculations. Barring rare circumstances, the collision is inevitable. Now he is telling that the effect will be worse. He is telling the result will be worse. It will be inevitable. Inevitable means unavoidable. Inevitable means inevitable, unavoidable. So he is telling the results will be disastrous, full of catastrophe, and you cannot avoid those results. That is why I have taken extra care to verify my calculations. So he is telling that is why I have to take extra care of my calculation. Barring rare circumstances, the collision is unavoidable. He is telling if it is something, the circumstances, very rare circumstances, the collision is inevitable. The collision is going to take place. It cannot avoid it. James was confident, but Sir John picked out the one qualifying phrase. What are those rare circumstances? Now children, James was confident, but Sir John picked out the one qualifying phrase. He told what are those rare circumstances? Well, it might collide with some asteroid before reaching here. So he told it doesn't mean it collided with the Earth also. It might collide with some asteroid before reaching here. So he is telling in some extra, if some extra circumstances is there, then we might save our Earth and ourselves. So he asks what type of extra circumstances you are referring. So he is telling that it might collide with the, it might collide with what? It might collide with asteroids. So one of the assumption is that it might collide with the asteroids, and if it collides with the Earth, disasters will be there. Well, it might collide with some asteroid before reaching here, or it might just split up when near the sun, or it might evaporate. So it's telling it might split up when it is near the sun, or it might evaporate. So if these three cases will be there, then everything would be fine. Otherwise, he is telling the worst disasters will take place. Well, it might collide with some asteroid before reaching here, or it might just split up when near the sun, or it might evaporate. But one can't count on this fortuitous circumstances. We have to proceed on the assumption that comet Datta will collide with the earth. Now children, he is telling we cannot take the risk. We only have to stick with the assumption that it will collide with the earth. Now let's see children what happened. What happened? Is it that the comet collided with the earth, or some disastrous catastrophe took place? So whatever, we will read in our last part of the video. Tomorrow I will be telling you all this thing in your last part of the video. Thank you and have a nice day ahead. Good day children to you.